Good morning, good morning. Here we are again. Third week in a row, kind of. Back in. Oh, man. Visited again this morning by Sadako. She was helping with the setup this morning and everything went wrong. Everything. No, that makes it sound like she was screwed it up. I'm sorry. No. She got a glimpse of the behind the scenes this morning. The outside camera kept turning off after 10 seconds. I got the inside camera turned on and it was just gray. And it turns out it was so damp in here last night. So damp. We're now in the rainy season and the humidity is, I don't know, 99% or whatever it is. So the camera lens was all fogged. So no problem. I know how to fix this. Go up to the camera, rub it. Nothing happens because the fogging is inside the camera. So luckily we fanned it for a while and it became clear. So I was saying Dave always blames others. That's not true. I'm the fall guy for most of this. Then we couldn't figure out how to plug in the video. We have good video today. We have a fun video. What did we tell them last week about that? I think I told you that Sadako and I walked down into the river to see some of the river. I introduced her to some of the places in the river nearby here. But we didn't really take a lot of video. Yesterday when I got here, Sadako wasn't here, I was by myself. Yesterday when I got here, I wanted to take a video down in the river going all the way along. But it was buckets, pouring rain. But the sky broke for a while, and I did. I took a short video walking from this room down into the river and down along to see all the secrets. We'll watch that partway through this stream because there isn't a whole lot of work going. Oh, by the way, the work. I forgot all that setup. Oh, there's a plastic case. Here it is. Here. Yeah, thank you. Oh, I know. Okay. Just there was 10,000 things to do. Then I didn't have the right adapter cable, whatever. And fireflies. Can you report last night? There were so many. Well, I should be careful what I say. Well, there were way more than there were a week before. At one time, how many? I don't know. They're going to be my Yorkshire exaggeration.
7 or 8
at a time to show. So in a group. We didn't take any more video because it's just a little kind of pointless. We don't know how to take good video here, but there were lots more fireflies. So we've learned, I guess, that they are getting later each year. And this is a surprise to me because I thought with global warming and stuff, the general warming trend, that fireflies would be earlier. But it seems not. It seems they're later. So that 2 weeks ago I came, and last week and last night there were lots and lots of them. I'm sorry not to have video of them for you, but that's a tough thing to do. So we're going to do a bit of work. We're going to be stamping the prints that I finished, the 62 prints that I finished the other day. We will look at them and stamp them. I've got a few video clips to show you, and we have a book corner, a very, very big book corner. And it's funny, the book that I've chosen for today, the book that I really wanted to show, I can't find because it's a large book, and that means it's in the bottom of the book boxes upstairs. But it's also the largest book box, which means it's at the back of the closet upstairs. You haven't actually seen this, but there's upstairs. Nutty.
Big wasp.
It's okay, he won't hurt us.
Yeah.
The last thing he wants to do is hurt us. So the book box, so the book I want to show is at the back of the closet upstairs. But while I'm looking for it, well, it doesn't matter because I found an alternate book, and you'll see it today. I left that book on the table this morning, and I think I can't get it back because Sadako buried herself in this. That's a super interesting book. If that was available in Japan, what do you... Well, anyway, later. Let's get to it. That'll be the book corner at the end. Let's do nominally a bit of work. We can get back to the fish. Oh, did you see that?
The big fish.
There's at least one left. We have sad news to report about the fish, actually. I know. Sad news about fish. I know. After the stream last week, where we saw quite a few nice fish, around noon or so, the sunshine came and shone right down into the river. So we put the camera up again and took some video of the fish with the sunlight on them. And there were easily a dozen or so, 10, 11, and 12 of the larger fish, 12 centimeters, 13, maybe 14 centimeters. When I came here yesterday, tried to feed some of them, there's nothing. There's no, I can't say no fish because you can see them, but all the big ones that I saw the week before were gone. And something else to report, we'll show you later. There were dead fish up on the side of the stream. 3 or 4 dead fish thrown up on the side of the stream. Nice little big ones. And there's no way that's the kingfisher. The kingfisher doesn't pick fish up and throw them away. There's no way that's the heron. The heron doesn't pick up fish and throw them away. I think there's only sort of one animal in this community that will pick fish out of the stream and just toss them around. And that's people. So there aren't as many fish there as I thought there were, but it seems we're okay today. Okay, let's get some work done. These turned out kind of nice, you know. I'm not a Kubota. In the same time as Mr. Kubota would have done 200, Dave started with a deck of 72, and I ended up with 62, which is that's not a very good ratio and nothing to write home about. My excuse is that I'm doing a lot of other things at the same time, but that's only an excuse. So I got 62 from my deck. Ishikawa-san is still working on hers, and Ayumi-san is still working on hers. So we will get this done and out. These are the prints that should have been shipped on the 21st of June. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And my job today is to seal them. You can roll, are you?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Just Saturday
Yes, see you on Saturday.
at the shop. Is that the idea? Okay, thanks for coming in. Okay.
Shall I close the screen?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I think we can probably zoom in closer, I guess, so people can see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to lay the prints out here. I'm going to work here. Let me change the camera, actually. The camera, just a sec. Here we go. Something like that. The last few days, the last week or so, it's been kind of, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. It's been kind of busy here, kind of strange, kind of difficult. So what I mostly want today is just to relax and do this quietly and look at a bit of video together. I don't have a humidifier scale, but every piece of paper that I touch, this is damp enough. You could print on it. There's so much dampness in the air here. This is the only downside to this house. We've got the river here. It's wonderful. There's fish, blah, blah, nature. But the dampness is a killer. And considering we run a woodblock printmaking workshop here, we have prints, thousands of prints stored here. So we keep the finished prints 1, 2, 3, 4 stories up from here. In the top floor, lots of sunshine, windows open, lots of air coming through. The humidity level between this level and way up there is so different. So we don't keep any finished prints down here at all. I mean, these are here now because I'm working on them. And the ladies each day, when they get the printouts from our management system, what to ship, they take the printouts, go upstairs, pick the prints, bring them downstairs, pack them, and get them out of here. So we don't keep any finished prints down here. Of course not. Absolutely impossible. Okay, let's do a test here first. This is the Hanko. If you didn't see before, Taran-san carved this for us. Looking good. Nice and neat and clean. Let's do one so you can see it. This is the Atelier Sento Hanko, which we put on here as the last step before the prints are packed. It's the traditional Japanese symbol that marks the location of a public bath on maps. It's maybe not so much used anymore. And the joke is that if you take that symbol, which is supposed to be steam rising from a bath, and you turn it upside down, you have a jellyfish floating. So I've got to be really careful not to turn this upside down, or it's Atelier jellyfish. She would never speak to me again. Someone's saying also, is the dampness good for the wood blocks? Well, it's not really. It's not damp all year long here. The wood blocks are stored one level up for me, where it is damp now, but also all through the rest of the year it is dry and cold. So the wood blocks go through this annual cycle of getting moist and dry and moist and dry. We don't seal up the packages, and that really seems to me not a bad thing. If wood blocks are stored always up on that second floor where it's really, really dry, they would absolutely dry out. They would get more and more and more difficult to print, and their longevity would be reduced. We have, I think, just about the optimal storage for wood blocks. The wood seems to stay moist. The Japanese word they use is nebari. If an old wood block gets too dried out and too crispy, the carvers or printers would say nebari ga nai. I'm not really quite sure what that means. Well, someone says you could take the moisture out of this room. Well, not really. We live in the outside here. The windows are wide open. The river is right there. We're not trying to seal the room and humidify it. I want to live here in this environment. So yeah, it gets damp X months of the year. I'm not trying to fight this. The onsen mark is manually placed on. What we're going to do is, because the first 4 prints in this series, due to Dave's forgetfulness and oversight, I didn't have an Atelier Sento mark on any of the prints in the first 4 in the series. I remembered it when it came time for the 5th print, and for the 5th print we carved it. Taran-san carved it onto the blocks. I thought we were then up and running. We would be carving it onto the blocks from then on. Dave still, now I'm getting older, whatever, I forgot when it came time to the block set for the 6th print, I forgot to let the carver, this was Kawasaki-san, I forgot to let her know about this and to carve it onto the blocks. She, knowing nothing about this, just went ahead and carved a set of blocks. Now by the time I realized it, the blocks were partway through printing out at Chihara-san's place and we were up and running. So plan B, we had Taran-san carve a stamp and we're putting it manually on this print. Now block set number 7 is carved by Taran-san, and we thought, what should we do? Should we carve it on each of the sets from now on, or should we do it manually? And he didn't carve it on number 7, so when it gets to the time of number 7, we'll do the same thing. We'll do this thing manually for each one. And what we will do, we talked about this, when we reprint numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 later, we will put the stamp on. I can't go back in time and do a recall on all those prints from the first 4 months. And one of the collectors at one point said, geez, we've missed out by not getting the stamp. But I pointed out to that person was that actually you're the one, because it doesn't have a stamp, you're the one with the quote unique print. So we're going to put this information on the page, the website that deals with this series, so that future people won't be confused about why do I have a stamp or why do I not have a stamp. And there we are, down in one corner, and it's fine. It's dark, it's gloomy, it's not even clear what it is, but it doesn't matter. That's the way that these Nakkan works. Someone says it's more efficient than printing it. Well, not really, you know. I'm sitting here doing one at a time, and if it were being printed, it would be about the same time, I think. Unless it happened to be, there was another color in the design that had it, and in which case you've got free time. Okay, our fish feeding assistant has gone home, so let me throw a bit of food to the fish. 1 second. Oh, Dave, relax. Where's the food? Where you are? When we put the food in, there's so many ripples you can't see the fish. But the idea is, if we throw it now and then, that keeps them invested in this area, and they're going to hang around. So, just enough food to keep them hanging around, but not too much to make ripples all the time. People asking what type of fish these are, I don't really know. It's a type of Japanese mountain trout. It's not the famous ayu, which are very plentiful down in the Tama River below us. And I've been told on a number of occasions by people who sort of know about this that these are not the yamame, the famous mountain trout that you see when you're hiking up in the mountains. I don't know. We do have a bit more information on that, and I'll show you later on in this stream. In fact, you better think about that. Video. We have 3 videos to show today, and a good long book corner. What did I do with the fish carcasses? I left them exactly as they were. And in fact, I checked this morning on the one. There was one right at the bottom of the ladder here. And I went down there and again checked this morning because I assumed that it would be gone, that the night scavengers would take care of them. But the one at the bottom of the stairs here is still there, except it's been heavily chewed. It's been chewed from the guts, so the fish body is split in half, and I guess something went in there and took the guts out and left the rest of it. There's no way, I'm not going to fool around with dead fish. There's lots of animals around here that will happily take care of them. I have no idea who did this. I really don't know. I asked Ishigami-san about it, the lady who works here. Did you see kids playing in the river recently this week? And she says not at all. She hasn't seen any kids at all. So maybe it's been on the weekend when kids are off school, or it may have been their daddies. Okay, is Karen here? Karen-san. I think you said you weren't sure if you were going to be here today. Is Vivid KP here today? I can't see her name. Oh, you're here. You're here. Okay, Karen-san. Karen-san, can I report about your plastic box? We tried it yesterday. When Karen was here, okay, we have a little interlude here of a bit of video. When Karen was here a few years ago, she had been, of course, watching this stream, and she had some video equipment that she hadn't been using at home. So she left it with me, and this is a year or so, a couple of years ago, and said, Dave, can you use this for the stream? And we did it. We did an experiment. This would have been in 2022, 3 years ago, in the summertime. No, I went back in the files and looked for it. It was in June 2022. Karen had left me a GoPro camera with a bunch of accessories. And as we talked about in the last stream, it was a really cool idea to put the GoPro camera in the plastic box, in the water, and stream. But as I mentioned last week, you can't do that because you need to run a wire from the camera up to the computer. You can't Wi-Fi from underneath the water, at least not with David's level of technology. Talk to the American submarine people. I don't know what they do, but whatever. I can't do it. But of course I realized that we don't have to do this live. So yesterday I took Karen's GoPro, what is it, a GoPro that she left here? Karen's GoPro Hero 3 Plus in the plastic box that she left with me, turned it on and stuck it in the water. Now, there wasn't much sunshine yesterday. It was a pouring rain day, but we did get some experimental video. I'm going to work on this and try to learn how to do it better. But let's have a look here, see if I can find this. 1 second. Just a moment. There is, here we are. This is from her underwater camera. And this may help us figure out what kind of fish these are, because now we could see the stripes on the side. And they're really curious about the camera. But we don't see any of the big ones. All you're looking at here are the fingerlings. There's nothing here longer than one of my fingers, because the big ones were really, really, really nervous about this. And again, there's not going to be much sunshine today, so I don't have a chance to try it. One of the days when there's beautiful sunshine pouring down into the water, we should be able to get some beautifully clear video, I think. And there's so many of them, because these are the little ones, the ones we can't really see from the top. The depth of the water here, if I were standing there where you see it, the water would be halfway up to my knees, maybe at my calves. It's not really very deep here at this point at all. They do, someone's talking about guppies, they do look like guppies, but that's only because they're very young. They have that bulge at the bottom. Once they get older, they lose that bottom bulge shape. And I would assume they're all the same species. I really don't know, I'm sorry. They look pretty much exactly the same. Maybe next week, if we get some sunshine, we can see some adults, and that'll give us a better idea about the patterning. About 10 seconds left here. There she goes. Okay, Karen-san, thank you very much for that. I'm sorry not to have really thought about trying that before. I was just hung up on the idea that you can't stream with it because you can't plug in an HDMI cable through the plastic up to the outside world. But yeah, I should have thought about that sooner. So if we get some sunshine this afternoon and or next week, we will try and get better views with this. Karen-san, thank you very much. How much longer is the stream? It goes down about a kilometer or so till it gets to the Tama River. It joins the Tama River. I've got a map I'll show you because later on in this stream we're going to look at a different video walking down the river. It's about a kilometer or so, I don't know. Yeah, the thing about the search for those kind of fish, those were juveniles. You know, that's not the fish marking that you see on an adult fish. Those are very, very juvenile fish. So stand by. A lot of GoPros can send video feed over Wi-Fi. This one can do that as well, but not from underwater. Okay, for those of you who just joined, we're putting in the Dakkan, the designer's stamp on this print, which is the 6th print in this year's series, Dreams of Future Past. I'm very happy with it. It's good fun. Turned out well. I'm no longer I'm not the world's greatest printer, but I can handle something now of this level. So. Is the stamp similar to my personal stamp? Yes, of course. It's a hanko. It's exactly the same. We use it the same way. I have a number of these. I have one I use for my bank accounts. Our company, the corporation, has an official corporate seal. We've got a casual seal. People have a little hanko they keep by the front door of their house to stamp for packages when they come in. You don't use the same one for that you use for your bank, etc. They're very, very common. They're less ubiquitous in Japanese society than they used to be. You used to do this for everything. If you went to the post office to pay a bill or to withdraw $10 or whatever, you needed this. That's no longer true nowadays. You can sign or you can punch in your numbers on the keypad or whatever. So they're no longer as absolutely needed as before. But to live here and to have bank accounts and to, buy a house and a car and stuff like that, you do need absolutely a personal seal. And if you're doing a big thing like buying a house or whatever, you need a registered seal. You have to take the seal, take it to the city office, and they look at it, inspect it, take a record of it, take the details, and that becomes a registered seal. And the re-registration has to happen on the new rule. I think it's 5 years. It might be 3 years. The registration expires. So yeah, you need one to do major business in Japan, but it's less than before. Okay, about these prints. I don't really want to get into this topic, but it's something I have to talk about this week. This is the number 6 print, the June print in our series, Dreams of Future Past. We've got it done sort of on time. I'm a week late, but not so bad. Number 7 was carved by Taran-san over a month ago, in good, long, more than enough time. Taran-san wasn't late at all. He got his work done in time. Taran-san's now working on number 9, actually, where we're jumping ahead with this. The blocks for number 8 are being carved in Kobe as we speak, and Taran-san has started number 9. Carving is fine. Carving is moving ahead. The designers have sort of kept up their end of it, and we're moving ahead. We have an issue, though, with printing. As I said, this one has made it out the door pretty much just in time. Famous Japanese just-in-time system. I have to be careful about personal information here, but I can disclose a little bit. Today's Thursday. 2 days ago, I got a phone call from our outside printer, the lady who is printing number 7. She got the blocks for that, I can't remember, 3 weeks ago or so when Taran-san finished them, and we gave her 200 sheets of paper, and they were ready to be finished by the end of this month to be shipped July 1st. Those blocks would then come to us and David would take over. She phoned me on Tuesday. She has not been well. She had 2 partway through color number 3 finished, and she clearly wasn't going to make it anywhere near by the deadline. She was still sick, unable to work, and what she requested was, could she send the blocks to me so that I could finish up and get it ready by the end of the month. There's 200 copies of a 13 color print with 3 colors done. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can get it done, but it would take me 2, perhaps 3 weeks. And then me and the team would try and start to get the other 150 copies done. We would be almost a month behind. So I chatted with her for a while, and first I said, okay, whatever. Send it over. There's nothing else I can do. I will tell the subscribers that this one's going to be kind of a bit late, and that maybe the next one's going to be kind of a bit late. And, no yelling and screaming, just the lady's sick. And you should have heard her. She really, her voice was awful. She has some kind of infection in her upper chest. And then we had a little meeting, me and Ayano-san and Naomi-san and the staff in Asakusa. What shall we do? What shall we do? And it looked like I was going to be a very busy little boy. 200 sheets of paper coming in for me, arriving there. They were going to arrive in Asakusa today. So we thought about how to do this, and we came up with Plan B. And there's going to be a lot of people out there who don't like this, but there really isn't any other way for us at the moment to proceed. We're going to postpone July's subscription print. This is June's print, number 6 in the series going in June. Number 7 in the series won't ship in June. We're going to ship it in August. So for the first time in the years I've been doing subscription prints, starting in 1989, for the first time we are canceling a subscription issue. Not canceling, we're postponing it. We're putting it 1 month later. We left the paper and blocks with her. We told her, okay, look, your doctor told you maybe next week you're going to be back to normal. Keep them in your freezer. Keep them there. Drop the deadline 1 month back and pick them up when you feel better. Is that okay? And she said, well, what's the new deadline? I said, no, there's no deadline. You're going to be, if you really are not getting better after another couple of weeks, let's rethink this for Plan C. But at the moment, you hang on to them. You finish them as you get better, and we'll ship in August instead of July. So that's it. So there will be no Dreams of Future print to subscribers. And I will be doing a mailing list to everybody to tell them about this. We just, instead of scrambling to be late and scrambling and struggling and me going to bed every night at 2 in the morning from printing, there's no way we can do this. But it's far easier for us just to set it 1 month. In future years, when people have got this series, it won't matter at all that when they received each print. It won't make any difference at all. But we've slipped, and it's going to cost us revenue because we're missing all that revenue, about 4 million yen. We will be down in revenue for July. It's okay, we're fine. We have more than enough in the bank. We've got a pad. We could run for a year with no income and still pay the staff salaries. We're fine for money. There's no, I need help. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. We're fine. But it hurts to do it this way. But whatever, the stress, otherwise, the stress on her, stress on me, stress on the whole printing team. There's other factors that I haven't mentioned too. The 2 ladies who work upstairs with me, the lady that you see working behind me and Ayumi-san on the corner, they're going to do a summer holiday. And the lady who works behind me has booked off for 2 months. She doesn't like working in the hot weather. She doesn't want these deadlines. She's booked off for July and August, and she'll be coming back in September. Ayumi-san, she takes her children and goes back to the family farm for August. She leaves her husband here because he can't get away. He's a policeman. So in summer, July and August, that room upstairs in Mokuhankan is going to be just me. Just me, Death Valley. So there we are. This is not tragic news, but whatever. Just so everybody knows about this. We've got some postponements. No, I say people. Why should we get upset? No, I know. I'm not thinking people would be upset. Just disappointed. Disappointed. We want to run this thing so well. I want to kick ass. I want to do everything perfectly, and we can't do that. But you slip here and you slip there and you slip here. What's that expression they use? $1 million here and $1 million there, and soon you're talking about big money. Whatever. It's the same sort of thing, But whatever. With Kubota-san out, we're waiting for news from him. We haven't heard anything from his daughter. With Kubota-san out. Oh, by the way, did I mention Dei-chan had her baby? Our printer Dei-chan, she had a little boy on June the 20th. The estimated delivery date was the 20th, and she popped it right on time. So our young printer Dei-chan, she has delivered her product right bang on time. So there's a picture, but that's not really a shareable picture. It's a bedside picture a few seconds after the birth. So it's not a picture we can share with you. If she shares a family picture later, mom, dad, and the baby, we can share that. But at the moment, I don't have anything that she would publicly want me to share. I'm sorry. But yeah, one more member of the family. So little boy she had. But she's going to be out. She's out for, we've told her, just go away. Don't even think about printing yet. You've got a brand new baby to take care of. Don't even think about work. So they're on staff. She's a salaried person. Her salary will continue. But so she's on maternity leave. Okay, 8:40. Let's switch gears again. This work really is nothing much. As I mentioned, there was a break in the clouds yesterday. I got some cool video, something I've been wanting to show you for a while. How long do you get for maternity in Japan? I don't know. We've just told her whatever it takes. She wasn't eligible for the official maternity leave because we had screwed up and we weren't paying the proper insurance for her. So because it was partly our screw up, we're covering her leave. She's just staying on staff for as long as it takes to do her baby job. Okay, anyway, enough of that stuff. Let's have some fun. We have a video. And I took the video yesterday on my with my GoPro 3, not GoPro 3, with my, it's a something 3, Pocket 3. with my pocket 3, the one with the head. I started in this room and I walked into the river, and we're going to take you on a little journey. Now, as I walked, I didn't, well, let's just show it. Let's show it. We can talk. Yesterday afternoon, about 5 o'clock, here in this room. This is the second basement of our house. And right here, this is looking down where our fish cam is. The fish cam, you've seen it, looks down there. This is where the fish cam is showing. It looks like my hard drive is struggling to keep up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is below where I am. This is the staircase going down. So we've gone one level down from where I'm sitting right now, and we're still way above the water. Upstream, downstream. I'm going down the ladder at the moment, camera in one hand, holding onto the ladder in the other hand. Again, one last look upstream. There's a weir with a small waterfall up there. No, there's almost no mosquitoes. The fish take care of that. I can't say there's none, but almost none. Are we getting audio from this? Can you hear the water splashing? At this point, the water is over my knees, but it's not hitting my shorts. I'm walking in my underpants here, my boxers, but my boxers are not getting wet. And it's now getting shallower. We're heading downstream. Are there leeches? No, nothing like that at all. Nothing like that. And this is the weir. The river flow is controlled by weirs every few hundred meters. There you see my shadow in the camera. Okay, now let's, down we go. That's heading downstream. Let's pause this for a second to interrupt this program to show you a map of what's going on. There's the course. I don't know if you can see the numbers. The numbers are really small. We started at the bottom. That's my house at the bottom. And we're all surrounded by houses, by roads, by people. But we're not going to see another human being for the next 15 minutes while we're walking. And we're now at, we're at number 2. Number 1 is my house. Number 2 is the weir. So looking back up towards my place, this is looking upstream again. We can see a very, very shallow weir. It's actually about 1 meter high, and it needs maintenance. The gravel and stuff at the bottom of it needs to be scooped out. There's way too much gravel here. It hasn't been maintained in years. And we have a little bit of an issue here. Dave, now, this is really difficult for me to walk. I'll try and do the Steadicam thing here. But with my glaucoma, I can't see the bottom side of my right eye. It's really difficult to track where I'm stepping. So I think I'm doing okay, but I trip here and there and I stumble here and there, so please be understanding here. So you can see the flow of the river actually, although there seems to be a lot of water below where I am, that's your flow right there. There isn't all that much water going through this river. The garbage is a shoe in there, look at that. We're going to see garbage here and there. I can't claim perfection here. And this, of course, is all shaped by the handyman. You can see on the right-hand side there. This is from the Taisho era, about 100 years ago. This river was built up and controlled. Yeah, there are land markers. Somebody mentioned a stone marker. There are property boundary markers here. A lot of them have been washed away. That's my house up there at the right. There's the street going by. This is a Pocket 3. It's an Osmo Pocket 3. And it's high, and we're now down, I don't know, 5-6 meters. That's the ground level up at the top there. Maybe more, 8 meters maybe, I don't know, I got no way to measure it. We're way, way down. Houses are up at the top there. This river is sort of a, not a canyon, but what do you call it? We'll see later on. It's sort of like a canyon, yes, you'll see. Okay, pause it again then. Back on the map. We're now at the part where we're going to make a sharp left. We're going to cut back to the left. You can see we're going around a corner. We're going to cut back left, then we're going to move up to the right. Does the river get heavy flow? Yes, indeed. This becomes a raging torrent. And after typhoons, all of these stones and gravel and everything are rearranged. Now, someone's just joined us. We are walking from my home. We started about 3 minutes ago, walking from my workroom, and we're strolling down the river. And after heavy rain, no way can I come down here. No way. No, I'm not barefoot. I got sandals on. It's shallow, the Cesaragio, but here and there are deeper pools. Like on the left here, there's a pool easily over my head. And yeah, there's houses, if I picked up stones here, you could throw stones through people's windows. We're this close to the houses. That's a deep pool on the right too. Nice in summer, it's so nice in there. Float along under the water. The river is called the Kiyomi-gawa. Kiyomi, beautiful looking river. I don't know if that's a sarcastic comment. It looks beautiful, whatever. It's fairly clean. That's quite deep too on the right hand side, about 1.5 meters. They're bamboo poles. bamboo falls in the river. Okay, now so far it hasn't been so interesting, but around this corner, first time I came along here, I'm thinking, oh, this is nice, whatever, 25 years ago when I bought this house. I bought the house in winter, so I didn't come down here, but that first summer, I came along here one day. Can I spell the river name? Oh, we can put it in Japanese. I think we're going to get a bit of wind noise because around this corner we get into real canyon territory and it's breezy down here. And look at this now, looking downstream. We're in, my God, they should make a movie down here. Look at this, cliffs on both sides. This is so cool. I'm sorry about the wind noise. I didn't realize this at the time I made it. And I'll bet you that donut to $1, whatever, that 99% of the people who live in the houses within a stone's throw of this place, they don't even know this is here. Next to nobody ever comes down here. There's nothing living. There's little fish in the river. There's crabs. Snakes here and there, and the usual stuff. There's tanuki that come, herons, kingfisher, and these trees up on the embankment. I'm going to stop in a minute and show you one of these trees. They're sort of holding the embankment back, but what's supporting the tree? They have roots, big, heavy roots. The weight overhanging the balcony, the bank, look at that. This is where Sadako and I came strolling last week. She saw it for the first time last week. Let's take a look at that tree. That tree that was overhanging. Here's how it's supported. It has massive roots running right down to the water. And this is now overhanging. I'm almost standing underneath it, pointing up. And then the tree goes up from there in open space. Incredible. Looking back upstream, we came down this way. Someone says, did I bring a thermometer? I don't know. I guess it's cooler down there in this little canyon must be cooler to some degree than up in the town. A few degrees, I don't know. You wouldn't want to be stuck in here after a sudden heavy rain, though, because the water will pour through. And here in this corner, my foot got stuck. You'll see this. I'm trying to cross this thing, and my left foot got stuck in the mud, and I can't get it out. My feet are, I'm desperately trying to get my sandal. Dave, can you get it? Can you get it without breaking the video? There it is, got my foot out of there. Well, someone's saying the water temperature would help identify the fish. It really is variable, you know. The water below me, I'm in it all the time, and some days it's really chilly, and some days, because of the slow water flow in summer and it's shallow, the sun heats it up. There's lots of variability in the water temperature. After the rain, it's colder, and on a hot summer day, that water gets kind of muggy. Big bamboo. I forget the name. What's the name of the big fat bamboo? Not madake. I don't know. Moso. Kind of. Somebody's been down here doing maintenance. The guy, one of the people who live upstairs here, must be coming down to do some maintenance in this bamboo. They probably come down and cut bamboo shoots for food. Okay, someone's saying we're going to end up in the ocean. No, we can see the end of the line here now. Just a second. When we move to the left a little bit, you can see an embankment, a concrete embankment at the right-hand side. That's as far as we're going to be able to go, because that's another weir. And this one doesn't just drop a few centimeters. This one drops, I don't know, about 6 or 7 meters. And this is as far as I can go, that concrete abutment there. But if you didn't know this place and there was more water and you were sort of canoeing down here or something like this, you know, in a high water after a heavy rain, if you had started upstream and you're in a little boat thinking, wow, this is so cool, you would get a very big shock in a few minutes here when you arrive at this embankment. There's no mosquitoes here. There's no stagnant water. This is running, and it's full of little fish everywhere. I can't say no mosquitoes, but there's almost none. Where you get a mosquito problem in my neighborhood here is up in the mountains, up in the hills behind my house, in the hills. That's where there's lots of mosquitoes. Down here, it's almost zero. Sadako and I sat here last night watching the fireflies, and no mosquitoes bothered us at all. None. I'm not exaggerating. And again, here we are. This is as far as we can go. If I did some bushwhacking up to the houses and back down to the next level, but I can't climb down here. It's about, I don't know, it's a few meters. It's higher than I can get out here. But if you're coming along with a little boat or something on higher water, you'd get a big shock at this point. Boom. And there's two of them. There's this drop about 7-8 meters, and there's a bigger drop. Just around the corner there. It drops about 12 meters, straight down. And there we are. That will do it. I don't know how long it took, about 15 minutes or so from my home. And there's where we went. My home is at the bottom. We made the zigzag at the beginning, then around, and we went through the canyon about halfway up. And right at the top, right there where the red dots end, that's the drop-off, that down. And as I said, we're surrounded by people and houses. How many of those people actually ever come down here or look in the place? I have no idea. People do, you know, somebody has come in and killed some fish over the weekend, so there are people who do know about this, but this is my backyard. It's not my property. My property ends, you know, right below me, as we hear. When I went down that ladder into the river, I am now going into Tokyo prefectural property. I believe it's owned by the Tokyo prefecture. It's part of Tokyo's water supply, and there are lots and lots of restrictions what you can do. At one point when I moved here, I was kind of thinking what I could do. Maybe the guy across the river was getting old, and I was thinking I could get his property, put a little bridge across, and I could have a workshop over on the other side of the river. You don't put a little bridge across a river that belongs to the Tokyo prefecture as part of their water supply. It's very, very heavily controlled and restricted. Let me toss some food. 1 second. They're thinking, where are you? Come on, get with the program. Okay, guys, thanks for being patient. Here you go. There are still a few big ones there, you know. They aren't all taken away. But at the end of last week's visit, there were so many. Yeah, if you throw too much food, it's difficult to see them. Just enough to keep them busy. Coming back. Someone says, do we get a lot of those precarious hanging trees falling down after typhoons? Well, my history here is only 25 years. Those trees are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. So while I've been here, I have no knowledge of such an accident. There are two places during the walk that we just showed. I didn't lift the camera and try and do 360 all the way through, but there are two places during that walk where there's one of those trees that leans over and goes up, and it's been chopped. Either it broke and fell, or it threatened some houses or whatever. So I showed you some trees there overhanging and shooting to the sky. There are at least two places that I know where such a tree has been trimmed off. And I would imagine for public safety, either just before it fell down or because it was really threatening some of the houses. So I get it. The question of the municipality clearing them out, this is interesting. I keep meaning to prepare, we have this conversation, I keep meaning to prepare a picture. I have pictures from the first few months that I was here, and there's almost nothing here. There's no local trees hanging over. The embankments are clean, the river itself is straight and has been graded. And I thought that was normal. But bit by bit by bit, over 25 years, this has become a jungle. And I think what must have happened is there must have been a major cleanup just before I came here, or a few years or something before I came here, to clean out a lot of the stuff that they don't want in the river. And now we've got 25 years of accumulated buildup. And it could be that maybe it's, for example, a 25-year cycle, and that tomorrow afternoon the bulldozers are going to come roaring through here. It's quite possible. Or it could be that they've sort of given up on this because the population here now has declined so much. I don't know what it is, and I'm not about to ask, because if I don't want to wake up a sleeping tiger, this is just the way I'd like it. Overgrown jungle where nobody can see what I'm doing. But I don't know the history, and I don't want to ask too many questions. I mean, in my own property here, or just at the very edge of my own property, we have 2 trees growing over the embankment. These trees were not here when I moved here, but they must have been seeded or seedling, whatever. Just to the left of me here, and just to the right of me here, are incipient trees that will, X hundreds of years from now, look like that. And you can see they're rooted in, they've got little roots that are starting to go down, they're digging into that kind of environment. So this is how it starts. Yes, because this is part of the Tokyo water supply, it must be on the radar. But there's no way I'm going to phone them up and say, don't you think it's time you cleaned up this river? Because it would be blasted to non-existence. And it would be decades before it came back. So I'm fine with this. We're 9:08. We have a book corner and we have one little closing video. So let's run to 9:15 or so. Maybe let me just can I finish this perhaps? Then we'll switch to our book corner, which is one of the largest books in the building. So I'm saying the government has added more categories to the visas. Well, if you've got some news that I don't know, then yeah, let's dig into it. But we're trying to keep up to date on this. And as far as we know, the things that we do here are still in no way under those visa classifications. There's no way the Japanese government here is going to encourage people to come to Japan to do traditional stuff. They want people to do elder care, health care, cleaning jobs, stuff that nobody else will do. But yeah, if there's something I don't know, then whatever. We had a nibble about this a while ago. There was a proposal to the government from one of the industries in downtown Tokyo, the printing business, the people who do commercial printing, as in printing presses and stuff like that. It seems they're having trouble attracting young people. So they were trying to get that added to the visa classification so that they could bring in laborers from overseas who had experience with printing, as in printing presses. And when I saw that news, my ears perked up. Ooh, because boy, I think we could slide in that one. If it says printing, we could slide in there. But I never saw a follow-up. I didn't think it happened. I think it was just a proposal to be added. Actually, I think it came from somebody in the stream here, in this chat here. They had seen that news and passed it on to me, I think. Cultural activities visa. No, that's nothing new. That's not for people who are working. That's for people who want to come and dabble at making calligraphy or something. That's not a working immigrant visa at all. That's a hobby playtime visa. And they wouldn't even give that to me when I asked 40 years ago, cultural activities visa, please. They just laughed. Well, they didn't laugh, just said no. But that's not a working visa. Yeah, the working holiday thing is there, but again, it's very, very, very short term. And it doesn't help our systemic problem. You know, there are any number of people on this chat who would like to come for a 90-day tourist visa and come and work for a day while they're doing it. You know, I'd pay the airfare, pay your salary, over you come. we would quietly do that. People come in as tourists and actually work. The problem is we need skilled people, or we need to train them. We need people who are going to be at this for a long, long time. We're not interested in doing print parties anymore. We need to train people. Someone says, am I a permanent resident? Yes, I have been for, I don't even know now, no idea. Sometime in the 1990s, 1993, 94, I don't remember. I've been a permanent resident since forever. Okay, 2 or 3 more and then let's finish this. Oh, do you hear it? The dreaded weed whacker sound. Somebody upstream has got a weed whacker out. And those are the days that get turned to hell. When Tamara-san's land, the guy across the river, when the crew comes in to take down the weeds, all day long, there's 3, 4, 5 guys, they've all got suits, they've got these gas-powered weed whackers, and it becomes the day from hell. And there's one of them now upstream, someone started it. That's one of your downsides about living in the countryside, is the weed whackers. Can you hear it? Okay, the work is done. It's 9:13. Let's switch to book time. Book corner. Last week's book corner was kind of a bit confused, but whatever. I was sort of maybe trying to cover too much stuff all at once. And it got just a bit too confusing. What are we actually talking about? But whatever, can't be helped. Today's book is simpler. It's a one book. One book, one book. Okay, let me get this stuff out of the way. Let's just take an Ishkamsan's desk. Okay, now how are we going to do this? We've always got our problem with reflections on these books. Zoom in, pull out. Okay, I think somewhere like this. Is that the target zone? Okay, as I said, the book that I wanted to show you today, I couldn't find. And it's probably just as well. Because if I had pulled that book out and put it on the table, a whole bunch of you are going to go, oh my God, this is the book equivalent of a dad joke. It's a book published, I don't even know. Do you guys remember it? I can't find it. It was called The Whole Earth Catalog. Do you remember? I don't have it to show you. It's upstairs in a box somewhere, and there's probably no real meaning to show it to you as a book corner because everybody knows about those old iconic books. But I knew I couldn't find it yesterday, but I found on the way to think about finding it, I found something else. I had a visit in the Asakusa shop. We opened in 2014. And so maybe it was about 2016, somewhere around there. We had a visit from a gentleman called Kevin Kelly. I don't know, you maybe know his name. He's actually a kind of a big name on the internet, whatever. And this is the gentleman, Kevin Kelly. I can't claim him as a friend. It's sort of acquaintance, whatever. He came into the shop. He knew about me and what I'd been doing and had come in to say hello and exchange a bit of ideas. We didn't get down and drink a bunch of beers and change the world with ideas or whatever. Just we got to know each other a little bit. Chatted for whatever, half an hour or so. I don't even remember. Did he pick up the print or not? I don't know. Can't tell. Can't remember. And then away. So I have a little bit of a passing acquaintance with the gentleman who wrote this book. you know about Wired magazine, or the thing that became Wired, the internet website or whatever. That's all his construction. And Kevin, if I've got this right, back in the old days in California, back in the late 70s or whatever, I think he worked with Stuart Brand back on the original Whole Earth catalog. I don't think Kevin was one of the originators of the book. I think Stuart had got it up. I think the story goes, it's apocryphal, whatever. Stuart had a van. He bought some tools and stuff, and he drove around to hippie communes in Sausalito or whatever, selling tools out of his van. Somebody had asked him, look, can you give us a catalog of this stuff, whatever. He got together a little paper catalog of the tools inside his van. That became, I think, the Whole Earth catalog. I don't know all the backstory of that whole thing. But Kevin, at one point, I think, went to work for him. And whatever, the Whole Earth catalog was what it was. It became a massive, massive cultural phenomenon and had its day. The internet came along and whatever, things are what they are. But Mr. Kelly remembered that and remembered the value of the book itself. And as the years went by, and this must date from, this is not 1970s already, this is, we're in the 2000s now. There must be a date here somewhere. Cool Tools, 2013. So we're not talking hippie era, whatever. Kevin came to the realization that the internet was doing its thing, and we had Amazon and we had all this, but even though the internet is infinite, it doesn't work in a couple of interesting ways. It should work well for serendipity, for serendipity. Just click, and there's something you never would have seen before. We've all learned that that's actually not how it really works. Whether it's a Facebook feed or whatever, there's almost no serendipity in it anymore. And Kevin wanted to find a way to replicate that experience. Even though we're surrounded by the internet, we have instant access to everything, it means we sort of actually have instant access to nothing. So Kevin first set up a website. I think it must have been cooltools.com or something. I don't know, it's probably still there. I didn't research this. I just saw the book last night and thought, wow, wow, wow. He must have put up a website or something and said, do you remember the old Whole Earth catalog? What are you using in your life now that you think other people would like to know about and would think is cool? What cool tools are you using that you want to share with the world? And he must have run this website for whatever, a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then he got a crew of people together and did the thing. And I haven't seen it for years. I bought it when it came out, and I haven't seen it for years. Last night, I found it on the shelf and thought this will be fun to show people, and you couldn't drag me away from it. It's just any single page you turn. If you know the old Whole Earth catalog, this is the whole thing back to life again. Now, already though, this is 2013, so the links and stuff are probably not so useful, I don't know, but it's absolutely, what's the word? You cannot put this down. This is the book that you cannot put down. So I left it on the table last night. I was doing some work, getting ready for something, whatever, for this stream, and Sadako was here after looking at the fireflies. She started flipping through it, and she's like, whatever. You cannot let go of this thing. Has someone got links from this? Good. KK.org. Kevin's thing was, what? I don't know if he's still doing it. I know. Where's a pen? Where's a pencil? I don't have a pencil. Ow. Kevin's thing, because his name was Kevin Kelly, his website at one point was kkasterisk.com. And if you're a computer programmer, you know the point here. When you're trying to do searching for files and stuff, you don't remember the full file name, you put an asterisk and it means find anything. So he was doing KK asterisk, not to mean KKK, but to mean KK asterisk, meaning Kevin Kelly searching and looking for everything. Super interesting guy. I don't know, can we browse through a bit of this? It's all going to be so reflective and shiny. You got lots of cable. We've got power. We can move this over. Earthquake, earthquake, earthquake. Let's just bring this up here. Let's try and do this. Sorry about the noise. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. Camera's here. We've got it. Dave, up, down, down, push, lock, lock. Okay. Got it, got it, got it. If you can put a book like this on your shelf and not be captivated by almost every page, random, I'm just going to go randomly here, whatever we're looking at. Home carbonation systems. Canning. The original Whole Earth catalog, a lot of it was like, what would they call preppers, survivalists, things like this. Adventure touring. Heritage sites, fixing, adjusting your bicycle, learning about bicycles, folding bicycles, just every page randomly, homemade musical instruments, whatever, flip randomly again, how to fix up an attic to do somebody to live in your attic. Every page. You don't need to buy the stuff it's referring to. Just the book itself is such an incredible generator of ideas. And the question to you, and I don't understand this myself, given that the internet is there, all of this stuff is on the internet. With one click, you can find any of this stuff instantaneously on the internet. How is it that we can't find anything? How is it that putting all these things together, printing on a piece of paper, cutting a bunch of trees down, we've got thousands of dead trees, trees that died to bring this information to me. How is it that this is still more relevant and useful than the internet? And can somebody create a way of using the internet the way that we use this book? I don't know. I don't know. This is what Kevin was trying to do. How do you make information accessible to people? Festivals all around the world. Eccentric traveling in America. Different knots. Car upkeep. We saw bicycle maintenance already. How to run for local office, political activism. Audiobooks. Oh, we saw that page. Look at that. We came back to the same page twice. A lot of it, of course, anything here that is specifically technical related is obviously now, this is 2013, so this is the downside to the physical idea here, putting it in here. The minute you print this thing, you're done. The information is out of date. So what he's done was when they published this, they put different QR codes through here that linked back to, at the time, information that was relevant at the moment there. How to do hand calligraphy. It just jumps here and there. It's alphabetical, so that there's no rhyme or reason to it. Every page you flip is something completely different. Am I just missing the internet? I don't know. Is there a way to use the internet this way? Somebody's mentioning here encyclopedias, and I remember that as a kid we had not the biggest encyclopedia in the world. We didn't ever have a Britannica. We had, I think, the one we had was Funk and Wagnalls, whatever. It was a standard encyclopedia. And I didn't read it cover to cover, but you pick it off the shelf, grab something, read it, and put it away. and you've learned something. So I don't think, am I being an old guy by wanting to have something in book form and wanting to get access through the use of a book and turning the page, and especially part of it, turning the page and not knowing what's going to be on the next page. Home budgeting, whatever. I mean, every single page here actually has something that I need or should be doing or should be using. There's sort of no unneeded information here. How to make a set of flashcards. I know I haven't had a chance to watch the chat here. You know, what are people doing? What are people doing? Something stumbled upon. What was that? Was that a synchronicity website? Was it? It's like scrolling through YouTube Shorts, but with a big difference. This is not what's the word? There's no algorithm working here. I looked at something and liked it, so it's going to show me more of the same things. That's not what I want when I'm looking on the internet. And any given double, the king. Did you hear the sound? That was the kingfisher flying by. Flying by or not flying by. Well, someone says they were roaming Twitch and that's how they found us. Okay, I get it. I mean, the internet is there and people do find stuff. But the density and the package and the overwhelming value and quality of the information in a book like this that Kevin and his team put together. Whatever, maybe there's nothing I'm saying here that's of any value to you, and it's just this old guy living the Whole Earth catalog all over again, back when I was a kid. And it's true. That thing, that old book that we had was an incredibly valuable, not just access to information, it was access to a culture. This one is not making any such claim. This is simply information, access to information. What does Kevin call it? A catalog of possibilities. Anyway, there it is for what it's worth. There's no worry about links. Obviously, you know how to find this thing if you think it's interesting. I don't know if they still sell it. I don't know if they did multiple editions. This one, yeah, this is the first one, 2013. This is the original one. Dave here would have bought it the minute I heard about it. Absolutely, I would have bought it straight away. First edition. Is there an ISBN we should show? Yep, there you go. For those who are interested. So there you go. I don't know, of interest to anybody or not, I don't know. I am now going to struggle for the rest of the day because I have lots of work to do, and this book is now sitting on my desk. That's dangerous. I think I will have to get it up, put it back in the box upstairs so I can get to work to do. There we are then. Today's Thursday. Next stream will be Saturday from Asakusa, and I'm not sure what I'll be doing. If we hadn't done the postponement of the July print, I would have been working on the July print. We've left that one with Chiharu-san. I'm finished my work on the June print. So I'm not actually quite sure, but I will be in Asakusa on Saturday doing something that hopefully is going to be interesting. I will try again to come out here next week because I really, really want to get used to doing some video. Before we close, I have another tiny little video clip. It's about, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes long. It was taken 1 week ago here, about 3 hours after our stream finished, when the sun was shining down through the river. Not that one, not that one. It's this one. This was taken at around noon last week, and I hadn't been feeding the fish for a while, so the big boys had come out to play. And look at the size of all of these guys. And this is what it looks like with some sunshine. So we're going to try this. Now that we've got our GoPro camera with a plastic case, next time I'm here and we have weather like this, beautiful sunshine, I will submerge the GoPro, we should finally get some good, clear views of these fish. And I'm sorry, there's no plate for this. The largest ones there are about 12 to 14 centimeters. There's nothing a foot long here, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you didn't get it, the black ones are shadows, of course. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Today's Thursday. I'll see you in a couple of days, Saturday morning from Asakusa at one of the workbenches somewhere. Which one, I don't know. We'll find some kind of work. Thanks again. There's probably some stress in my voice. I don't know. I'm sorry if it hasn't been as relaxed as it should be. The last week or so has been kind of a whatever. So my apologies if it's not quite as peaceful and as relaxed as it should have been here. But whatever. We'll try and get things rolling. Thanks again for joining us. Thanks to the mods for helping out. And I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye for now. 3, 2, 1. See you on Saturday.